See who shows up. And I know you all have been watching this because I've been hearing how it's been making a difference. I am sure that my audio is working. So I'm on the ground today. We're going to get into a little bit of movement. I don't know what kind of movement. I've got lots of different embodiment practices that I will often pull from, and we'll just see where it wants to go. I tried to sync up a little bit of music to Zoom, which is my favorite, to be able to do some of these practices with music as another tool. So I want to also recap. I'm going to keep this again to about 25, 30 minutes, but I wanted to recap a little bit of, let's see if I can pull my candle out, of what we've covered the last 3 days, so you understand how to sequence it, and also so you understand how you can move and shift the pieces. This radiant power practice, like I'd said, it's pretty much like a decade old. When I work with a lot of the women that I journey with, I'm always checking in, it's this been coined like the power hour. And we're always adapting it. I'm always adapting it when I'm working with clients, depending on what it is that they're manifesting, grounding, embodying, working on. So it can move and shift and rearrange and adapt to what it is that you're creating in your life. But the main piece that you want to leave your practice with is feeling empowered, right? Is feeling powerful as a divine woman who's really dropped into her creative power. So I want to talk a little bit, I want to recap, and I want to talk about power, and I want to talk about how that ties into this new paradigm of feminine leadership, something I've been talking and teaching on for, again, almost a decade. So we're leaving this paradigm with the feminine where we've been walking around disembodied in a collapsed energetic state, living in our heads, and oftentimes never feeling like enough and disconnected from our power. So when we're disconnected from our power, we're really not living in that expanded, rooted, really dynamic, empowered place, right? And that's the paradigm shift, is being able to take ourselves out of a paradigm of depletion and disconnect and come into a paradigm of expanded, radiant leadership that drops us into our creational power. If we think about the term radiance, that means something different to different people, right? But I would invite you to think about, what does radiance mean for you? I love the word radiance. I don't use it as much in my branding and my marketing, because the work has gotten a lot deeper, which, by the way, I'm going to be sharing a program that starts next Wednesday called The Fully Awakened Woman. So some of these pieces that I've given you are woven into that program, but this is a deep activation, a deep invitation to descend more fully into your activated channel of truth, to activate your creative sexual power, to come into that divine remembrance of your wealth, right? Who you are as a divine being is naturally wealthy. When we talk about shifting paradigms, we talk about this stepping out of the lack and the limitation and the separation from our true divine power. So when we step into this new paradigm of feminine leadership, we are remembering our inherited worthiness and our inherent wealth, right? And so the Fully Awakened Woman is this journey of really activating the fullness of your activated channel of truth and power and of potential, stepping into your creative sexual power, taking up space in the world with your desires, with your vision, with your creational power, right? With your radiance. To me, radiance is being full from the inside out. Right? We are living from this place of surplus where our cup is full, right? And that requires being able to identify our needs, our wants, our desires, our vision, being able to listen and to honor what that is, and then being able to give it to ourselves, right? Really leading from a nourished place. And when we do that, again, our energy becomes very expansive. When we're dropped into our power and we're expanded, when we're really embracing our creative power, right, we become very magnetic, right? We're taking up space with the fullness of who we are. And there's often a journey to be done every time we step into the next evolution of what that means to be more fully embodied in our power as women. But to just start to think about, oftentimes we can hit up against different relationship dynamics. There can be different inner child wounding pieces that show up, right? We can have stories playing out from our teen years or from relationship dynamics around what that means to be in power in the space with the masculine. And there's so many layers and elements to it. And yet, when we can really fully embody and be comfortable with our power, we become magnetic. We become very, very powerful creators. And we take ourselves out of a paradigm of doing and pushing and grinding and chasing and into a paradigm of power and ease and intentionally creating our life on our terms, but from a very, very empowered and powerful place, right? And so it's this bridging of our divinity and our primal power. For women, oftentimes that journey into the primal power, into the womb space, into the feminine root, right? It connects us to the density of like the physical experience. So in the fully awakened woman, we really get into like the primal power, your primal animal, connecting into the intelligence of the body and how we start to move and lead from that place powerfully. It shifts everything. Your relationship to your money, how you show up in your business, how you show up in your marketing, how you attract, how you lead, how you manifest, right? It's like, and starting to think about this word radiant and starting to think about this word power, right? Power. So our power is very connected to wealth. It's how we start to co-create freedom. So starting to think about power and the Radiant Morning Power Hour. And I'm going to give you, there's a couple different tools, 2 free tools off the Akashic Women's School. I'm going to give you links to that if you love this practice. You can go ahead and grab those tools. It's more step-by-step if you want to get like the flow of the sequence and that kind of thing. But essentially, we want to leave feeling anchored in our power, really turned on by our desires and by life, right? Really excited about how we get to co-create, how we get to be held by life, right? As we lead from this really beautiful, powerful place. So starting to think about what power means to you. I'm just going to turn my phone off. And I'm really hoping that everyone can hear me. I don't see anyone on. And yet I've been getting some really beautiful feedback around the practices that I've been giving you. So let's recap. Then today, we're going to get into, the first day was all about desire and energy and alignment and working in the quantum field, really, really powerful pieces. And then yesterday was all about emotional transmutation and anchoring into the body. And that is just the surface. There's so much deeper we can go in terms of the emotional transmutation. There we go. And as we do that, as we transmute, then we come back into this place of power. We start to ground it all, and then we start to generate energy. Right? We start to generate that creative sexual power so that we can harness it and direct it towards the flow of what we desire to create for our lives. So I always love to, at the very end, oftentimes I'll just start to move my body. Sometimes it depends where I'm at in my cycle. Sometimes my movements are really soft and fluid combined with breath work, and I'm sitting on the floor a little bit more. The way that I teach embodiment is to listen to your own body. I like to give a few different tools, and then the invitation always is to start to listen to what your body wants, how your body wants to move, how your body wants to lead, because that's the intelligence of the feminine body, right? And there really is a deep, deep primal or intuitive knowing that the body knows, right? When we allow her to lead. And also there's a journey around that. Just as there's a journey of dropping into the lower energetic wisdom centers, because it's so connected to the physical aspect, we're often, required to descend into more of our feeling centers. And for women, the womb space and the feminine root are a real place of power, If we think about, how we're just innately designed to create and birth, right? It's the real seat of our power. And yet we can often have shame. We can often have pain. We can often have numbness. We can have trauma, and for a very good reason, just given the nature of the history of the suppression on the planet. So we can go, this can be gentle and you can take it slow. And I just love to use a few tools and practices. I turn my music on and I just start to let my body move and flow and lead. And it starts to generate the energy and the creative sexual energy, right? And that's so powerful. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. So I'm just going to do like a very brief recap. I'm going to give you the links for where you can go and grab some of the free pieces. Actually, I'll do that now, but I don't want to forget. But if you've loved this, if you want to go deeper, again, this practice, really deepen into it. So it's amazing if you can do it 3 days, like consecutive days, or 3 days, like Monday to Friday, somewhere in there. Building this practice Monday to Friday is amazing. It'll really start to shift your energy and also the experience of yourself, and also your physical experience, how you're creating, how you're attracting, how you're manifesting, how you're leading in a really powerful way. Just gonna have some water. So the first free gift that you might want to get is the Radiant Morning Power Hour PDF. And it's just a step-by-step, and it includes everything we've talked about today and probably some more pieces. And then and that you can get at tarapreston.com. That website's currently kind of under renovation. There's going to be some changes coming to that. So tarapreston.com. And then you can also go to the akashicwomenschool.com free-gift. And there is a Radiant Morning Akashic Womb Awakening and Clearing practice. It's so gentle. It's about 20 minutes. If, maybe you don't feel like doing a full morning power sequence, you can go ahead and even just drop into that. We talk about emotional transmutation, but also just like the anchoring into a power center for ourselves. And we start to anchor into the womb space. It is very magnetic. It's almost like we become, things start to orbit around us, instead of us feeling really pulled all over by different pieces. So this becomes a really powerful piece. It's going to have some water. So on day 1, if you didn't catch day 1, that's okay. I'd love to. I would definitely invite you to. It was all about alignment and desire. We talked about feeling into our higher vision, what our deeper desires, or what do you want to create for your life that just totally turns you on, right? Lights you up, right? That's so important. But we talked about kind of starting to unearth that, really tapping into who our powerful woman is and starting to ignite that connection, activate that connection in the quantum field, starting to use the power of visioning in the quantum field. So we connected to our future self, and we connected to our desires, and we connected to the energy of prosperity, and we just started to drop in on that. So that's so beautiful right there, because we're starting to shift our vibration in a really, really beautiful way. Yesterday, again, all about emotional transmutation. It was about opening up with conscious breathing, opening up the feminine energetic system, something that I coined, the feminine energetic system. and all of the beautiful wisdom centers, and that's something else that I've coined, that run along our feminine body. Right, and so we start to clear out and then open up, clear out and then open up. Talked about clearing at the level of the womb, and I gave you a simple practice for that. And then connecting to the inner child. There's such an important piece for emotional transmutation. And then we kind of started to drop ourselves into the body with the pussy pulse, which is so beautiful. We start to anchor essence into the yoni. And we also just start to clear out any stagnation. So today, let's go ahead and start to deepen into some more breath work, some of the pieces that we've used over the last couple of days. And then I'm going to move us into some music. Some movement. I want to attempt to use music, but I am afraid that it'll cut my sound out. So I will just see how it goes. All right. So if you want to join me, you can. I'm going to go ahead and close my eyes and drop my chin. We always have the most power in the present moment, right? Where we can gather up all of our energy, where we can come into that divine remembrance of the truth of who we are as limitless, powerful women. Where prosperity is our birthright. Just being in the naturalness of who we were born to be, knowing that we are more than enough, just our presence. Just the beauty of our essence is more than enough. Excuse me. Starting to bring your focus to your breath and to your body. Closing your eyes, coming within, we're just going to start to notice what we notice in the environment around us. Any sense, the temperature of the room. And with that, let's go ahead and take a breath in through the nose and then down into the womb space. And then up and out through the mouth. And we'll do that breath 2 more times. So this is all about starting to drop in to create that sacred space. I love to infuse a little bit of ritual with a candle. I love to infuse and create the sacred space with a little bit of prayer. You can find this prayer in the Radiant Morning Power PDF. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ask for beautiful spheres of divine love and protection to be placed around myself. I'm going to call in my guides, guardians, masters, angels, teachers, benevolent ancestors to be present here now. Asking this to be a divinely protected space where only the highest frequencies of love and light shall exist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And so it is. And we're going to ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael to clear out any cords, hooks, or energetic attachments running from our energetic system to anyone else's energetic system. Bringing our focus again to our body, to our womb. And I want you to just take a minute and just in this space too, just calling back your power. So just calling back your power, and it can simply be, I call back my power from all spaces, realities, timelines, dimensions. And we're just going to call back all fragments of our power into this space. And at the same time, releasing any power from anyone else that you may be holding. Asking Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Michael to please clear out any emotional stagnation, any mental patterns that we may be holding in our field or even holding on to in our awareness that is not ours. I'm just going to ask for all of that to be cleared. And then let's go ahead and just start to connect the heart and the womb. So you can go ahead and take a breath in through the heart, down into the womb space, and then up and out through the nose, up and out through the mouth. And I kind of like to bring the breath in through the nose and down into the womb space, and then really let it swirl, bringing that like cleansing, rejuvenating energy, and then up and out through the mouth. So we're going to do breath in through the heart, down to the womb, up and out through the mouth. And we'll do a few more of those, maybe 3 more. I like to switch hands. And then let's go ahead and we're going to bring our focus to the womb space, dropping in just a little bit more. We're going to start to notice a beautiful emerald green light start to swish and swirl through the sacral, cleansing, clearing, rejuvenating the sacral. And then we're going to bring that emerald green light down through the core of the body, down through all the layers of earth and crust and soil and root and rock. And we're going to drop that emerald green light to the core of Mother Earth, seeing it as a beautiful emerald gemstone. And I want you to see that beautiful emerald gemstone just start to pulsate with like this Mother Earth, like Shakti, radiance, powerful energy. Start to glow with like this like golden energy. And then we're just going to let our body weight drop and drop and drop until we feel fully supported by the beauty and abundance of Mother Earth. Anything that we feel complete with at the level of the womb. Sometimes I actually just love to use my hands and kind of scoop and clear. We have all these energy bodies, right, that run from the physical body, the emotional body, mental body, and 3 energy bodies. Even just using your hand to just like scoop and clear the womb space can be super powerful. Again, as women, we're kind of built like chalices. We're amazing at holding space and transmuting, but we have to actually remember to transmute. So grounding it and giving it to Mother Earth, seeing it travel down to the root system, down to that emerald green gem, but we're going to see all of that energy start to just travel and release and clear and be transmuted to Mother Earth. Again, just letting ourselves relax into Mother Earth, dropping into our back body, allowing Mother Earth to hold us. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. Oh my goodness, I just... Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start to call on that Shakti energy. This is where I really wish I had music, but I don't know that it's going to work. And I'm not sure I want to try. Let me just see here. I'm going to put it on my phone by my microphone, see if I can't get something. I've got some amazing playlists. Okay. I've really got to get the sound thing figured out. All right. We'll go down to the green gemstone and we're going to start to call on the Shakti energy. We're going to start to call on the Mother Earth energy. And you simply have to say Shakti, 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 and start to visualize that golden energy starting to source power for the green gemstone. Start to see it become alive and activated and dancing around, swirling around that beautiful green gemstone. My body's already starting to move. So, and then we're going to call it up. We're just going to visualize it up. We're going to call the Shakti energy up through the core of Mother Earth. We're going to see it start to travel up through all the layers of earth and crust and soil and root and rock, right into the perineum, right into the root chakra. And we're going to see that energy come up and into the womb space, then taking a deep breath in through the nose, down into the womb and meeting that breath there. Meeting the Shakti there. And then we're going to breathe out of the mouth. We're going to let that Shakti start to just move through the body. And I like to use my hands to start to move it through the body. We're going to do that 2 more times, seeing the Shakti gather there at the core of Mother Earth. And then travel up into the space, taking a breath, letting it circulate and move, and then breathing out and just letting that energy move through the body where it wants to. And we'll do that 1 more time, traveling to the core of Mother Earth, seeing the energy start to swirl and activate, calling that Shakti out, seeing it rise through the core of Mother Earth, and really allowing yourself to receive that Shakti energy, seeing it come up through the perineum into the womb space, taking your breath. Now we're going to get into some gentle rocking, hand over heart, hand over womb. You can move forward, you're going to breathe in, and when you move backwards, you're going to breathe out. We're just going to start to generate some more energy, but we're going to start slow. Taking your breath down to the womb, up and out through the mouth. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple tools for today. If you love some of these practices that I'm weaving in, my invitation is to check out Fully Awakened Woman, 12 Weeks to Embodying the Power of Your Turned On Frequency. We begin next Wednesday. The Fully Awakened Woman begins next Wednesday. I'm going to give you 1 more power tool, 1 more movement tool. We're going to stand up. And there's more that I could give you, but I want to keep it sweet, short, simple. If you're loving this, if you want to take it deeper, the Fully Awakened Woman begins next Wednesday. Tonight, the early savings ends, and it'll go up to $9.97 tomorrow night, and then it'll go up to $12.97 a few days before the program starts. So Fully Awakened Woman, I'm going to drop the link below, 12 Weeks to Embodying the Power of Your Turned On Frequency. And I include so many layers in this: movement, sound. We include creative shamanic journeys. I weave in Akashic field shamanic activations, Akashic record group work, especially when it comes to rising in your power as a feminine leader at this time. We look at coming into our primal power. We look at marrying our primal power with wealth consciousness, how that connects to the masculine, and really take you into this place of embodying your energy and holding your energy in a whole new way. This program, this is the 2nd year that it's run. Last year, the women that moved through this program had such deep breakthroughs and a deeper relationship with their body and the experience of their power, head on over to the landing page and check out the testimonials. It's hard to explain sometimes how I work with transformation, but this is absolutely a soul level embodied transformation. So if this is speaking to you, come and spend the summer with me for 3 months, 12 weeks, diving into this body of work. Okay, my final practice for you now that we've kind of got the energy moving, and you can stay in these practices as long as you want to. You can stay and just generate that beautiful circular energy. It will really start to generate the Shakti in a soft way. Let your body move. When you saw some of how my body moves, I like to use my hands to bring the energy like up and to move it around my body. Let it be intuitive. Let your body remember. That's the feminine, wants to flow and remember and move in the way that feels good to her. It's why I don't teach anything that is super, super structured. I want to give a framework, but I ultimately want to connect you to your own leadership and help you build that trust. Okay, so here's the final one. Can almost do this. I think we can do this. So this is kind of goddess pose. And actually you can do even like hip thrusts from here. I don't know if anyone tried those, are really, really powerful too. But we're going to get into goddess pose, and I'll see if I can do it seated. It's one of my favorites. You've maybe seen some of the videos that I've given, but we'll do goddess pose on our knees. You can do this standing up, but basically you just want to have your knees hip width apart or until it feels comfortable. Hands up, one of my favorite, hands up. Okay, and then we're going to start to drop in with our breath. And as we do that, you're going to let your hips start to swirl and move. Okay, hips swirling and moving. And you can actually take this into a standing position when it feels good to you. And maybe we'll do that. Let's go ahead. And then I'm going to jump off, and please share how this experience was for you. I've had some of you reach in Messenger, which if that feels good to you, reach out in Messenger, and happy to have a conversation and just hear how this work has supported you. Come back to these. I'm going to keep this series up on YouTube, and let's go. Okay. Taking the Shakti breath into the pelvic bowl. And I just want you to do circular motions. You can't really see what I'm doing because of my dress, but I'm just doing circular motions. Beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and stand up, and then I'm going to close out. So same thing, you can stand up, goddess pose, one of my favorites. You've seen me do it before. And then again, we're just going to drop in. And you want to do your hip circles. And you want to take your breath now right down to the root. And then let that energy travel up. Go ahead, use your hands to move it on up. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I shall talk to you all soon. Bye for now.